very good friend, the President of Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, Senior Vice President of Imani, media personnel present, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you warm greetings from the Ministry of Energy. I am myself particularly happy to join you this afternoon for this Reform Dialogue series, especially because I am an ardent follower of the work that Imani does in the public policy space. More importantly, I also bring you greetings and best wishes from the Honorable Matthew Opoku Prempeh, MP, who, as Minister for Energy, is spearheading His Excellency the President's vision of providing reliable and affordable power to drive the industrialization agenda of his government. The Honorable Minister indeed agreed to be here this afternoon. Unfortunately, an urgent matter requiring him to be at the Jubilee House, the seat of our nation's presidency, has made it impossible for him to be here this afternoon. He extends his most sincere apologies and his inability to attend and hopes that this event is successful. I'll now proceed to read Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh's prepared speech for the occasion. Mr. Chairman, I'm delighted to be part of the fourth Reform Dialogue series on the theme, Access to Affordable Energy in Support of Economic Growth and Job Creation in Ghana. Your choice of theme on this occasion is appropriate and demonstrates our shared commitment to the growth and development of Ghana through the provision of clean and affordable electricity. I wish to commend Imani and the GIZ for organizing this Reform Dialogue series. We at the Ministry of Energy shall endeavor to avail ourselves in deepening the conversation further in respect of access to affordable energy to support economic growth and job creation in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, energy access remains a key development constraint. A recent report by the Climate Investment Fund showed that nearly 1 billion people worldwide still do not have access to electricity, and about 2.7 billion people lack access to clean cooking facilities. Effective access is further complicated by affordability constraints that prevent households in the lower income tiers from accessing electricity. Ladies and gentlemen, access to adequate, affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy is critical for economic and social development of this country. And electricity will continue to remain an important driver for industrialization and social transformation due to its numerous benefits. It would be appropriate to first of all identify the key factors that currently make access to energy unaffordable in Ghana. One can talk of the cost of power generation, coupled with the huge cost of excess capacity that we are paying annually. With the current power distribution losses in the range of about 27%, one can definitely not talk about affordable energy to support economic development. Furthermore, our current tariff structure does not favor industrialization. These are just a few of the constraining factors. Mr. Chairman, the National Electrification Scheme was instituted in 1989 as government's principal instrument to achieve the policy of extending electricity to all parts of the country over a 30-year period from 1990 to 2020. The goals and objectives of the scheme were and remain: 1, to reduce poverty, especially in rural areas; 2, to increase the overall socio-economic development of the nation; 3, to increase people's standard of living, especially those in rural areas; 4, create small to medium-scale industries in rural areas; 5, enhance activities in other sectors of the economy, such as agriculture, health, education, tourism, etc. And 6, create jobs in the rural areas and thus reducing the rate of rural to urban migration. Ladies and gentlemen, access to electricity in Ghana by way of the population has increased from about 15% at inception of the NES to the current level of 85.17%. One thing that has sustained the momentum of the scheme is the commitment of successive governments towards providing the needed support for implementation. The current government, consistent with the momentum, has indicated its commitment towards the achievement of universal access to electricity by end 2024. We have therefore come up with a number of strategies to meet this target. As the sector minister, I have the responsibility to deal with the challenges of affecting the provision of sustainable energy for the economic development of our country, and I would like to discuss a number of measures we are putting in place to resolve them. Generation. On the power generation front, whilst we are working collaboratively with key stakeholders to reduce the uncompetitive capacity charges through ongoing renegotiation of power purchase agreements, we have decided going forward to do away with the existing take-or-pay arrangements to a more favorable take-and-pay arrangement looking at our current circumstances. Distribution. To deal with the power distribution issues, government is considering options of reforming the subsector. Whilst the private sector participation in ECG could not materialize as expected, leading to the termination of the transaction arrangements with Power Distribution Service, PDS, we are looking at a phased approach of private sector participation, commencing with the retail end of the distribution business. The introduction of PSP in the electricity retail business is expected to achieve the following benefits: increase revenue collection rates, decrease commercial distribution system losses, improve customer service, and provide lower financial barriers to local participation. At the appropriate time, we would come out with the fine details so that we can all engage on discussing the way forward. Tariff structure. As I indicated earlier, the current tariff structure does not favor accelerated industrialization. The government is therefore committed to improving the competitiveness of Ghanaian businesses by making electricity tariffs affordable to businesses and also encouraging consumption of grid power to mitigate the cost of excess capacity in the sector. Under the current structure, non-residential customers are being encouraged to leave the grid, which is resulting in loss of revenue for the sector. End-user electricity and fuel tariffs for the commercial and industrial sectors are relatively expensive when compared to tariffs in other West African nations. Against this background, the Ministry of Energy is looking at special industrial tariffs for the sale of electricity and natural gas to strategic industries such as iron and steel, bauxite and aluminium, fertilizer, ceramics, amongst others. It is expected that these tariff reforms would support national development objectives such as increased tax revenue, industrialization, and employment creation in accordance with government Ghana Beyond Aid program. Commitment to industrialization. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nana Akufo-Addo administration is committed to accelerating the industrial drive of the country. Some of the initiatives include, but are not limited to, the National Industrial Revitalization Program, which seeks to provide stimulus incentives to economically viable by financially distressed companies. The One District, One Factory initiative, which is a well-thought-through policy that is geared towards decentralization of industrial development for fair and equitable growth in every part of the country. And C, strategic anchor industries intended to position Ghana's industrial landscape around certain industrial patterns and products within the framework of industrial parks and the special economic zones, amongst others. Upgrading existing infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, whilst we make efforts towards the provision of sustainable energy for economic development, one must not lose sight of the needed upgrade of the existing infrastructure. This is to guarantee a firm base load supply to underpin the industrialization process. The ongoing transmission upgrade works are therefore aimed at making our energy supply reliable and sustainable into the future. We shall continue to make the necessary investment, particularly in transmission and distribution, to improve the reliability of power supply. A firm base load supply would also lead to the integration of renewable energy. Ovi, I hear that's your passion. Into the network, since any variability in RE could be compensated for within the stable network. Mr. Chairman, we are deploying a number of strategies including renewable energy, multi-grid electrification for islands and lakeside communities, as well as standalone solar home systems for sparsely populated settlements where it is difficult to extend the national electricity grid. We are also pursuing a renewable energy master plan in order to meet our sustainable development goals by 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, we are equally paying attention to energy access for cooking. Our goal is to reach 50% LPG penetration and reduce the dependency on biomass in the form of firewood and charcoal significantly to 30% by 2030. The cylinder recirculation model and the promotion of 500,000 improved charcoal cook stoves under the Stoves for Carbon scheme are being implemented by the Ministry of Energy. In all these, local content is key to the delivery of such interventions. Currently, we are undertaking a study with funding from the World Bank to develop a clean cooking strategy and investment prospectus for Ghana. This will drive investment in the sector and help us achieve our goals. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude my remarks, I wish to note that access to affordable energy in support of economic growth and job creation in Ghana can only be achieved with a sound and effective energy policy. We have therefore reviewed the energy policy of 2010 and have come up with an updated version taking into consideration unforeseen challenges and changes in global trends. We are about seeking cabinet approval for its implementation. Let me reiterate the fact that this government is committed to fixing the current energy challenges, namely dealing with the current power issues, facilitating additional oil finds, to make more and cheaper gas available to key industries, and to restore the financial health of the sector as soon as possible. This is to keep the industrialization drive alive and create the needed jobs for the citizenry. I remain firm in my conviction that President Akufo-Addo's vision of a robust, affordable, dependable energy sector as a catalyst for propelling economic and industrial growth is achievable. I believe that working together towards a common purpose in the marketplace of ideas, we shall achieve that and improve the lives of our people. Let us keep the conversation alive. Thank you, and may God bless us all.